Growing up, my childhood was not really what you would call normal.
People say if you break an arm that everyone comes around and tries to rush you to try and fix the arm. But if you break your mind, that people just all walk away and don't know what to do because they don't know how to fix the mind.
I think people don't really understand what autism is. People aren't aware enough about what it is, so they don't really know how to react to it.
It's more obvious with physical disabilities. You give someone with vision problems glasses, and they're able to see well. We build our buildings with stairs. It's not because we think that people who can climb stairs are better people or something. It's just because most people are able to climb them.
I need promptings. I need people to guide me. I need to ask a lot of questions. I cannot walk in the room and sense what somebody might be thinking by looking at their body language. In my brain, it just doesn't click. It never makes sense to me. That's why I feel like I'm on the wrong planet.
Growing up, I've been picked on for my autism just because of me being an autistic person and someone who's reserved and someone who stuck out like a sore thumb. I was the one that faded into the background and was left in obscurity.
As a kid, I believe I cried a lot. I only said nouns. I didn't play sentences or talk anything like that. I began piano lessons at 10 years old. During the lessons, the piano teacher tried to teach me songs, but I was more interested in opening up the piano and see how it worked. An older couple gave me an older piano for me to practice on, so I would practice tuning on that thing. Then they let me tune many of their pianos in the school. And then as I got older, basically I just was working in low-wage jobs that didn't feel very fulfilling. I know it's important to earn an income and pay your way to survive, but I wanted something more than that. They were trying to evaluate me and give me some tests to see whether I'm able to run my own business. They thought I would not qualify to running my own piano business because I couldn't generalize, I couldn't problem solve. According to the testing, my expressive language is 100. Do you know what my receptive language is? It's only 5. It's like my brain has one leg when it comes to generalizing social skills, knowing how life in this world works. You're walking on your 2 mental legs. You're telling me that I'm not even trying. If I only have one leg, how does that make me feel? I have more limitations, more deficits. I'm not able to figure things out all by myself. I always need my dad to help me every time I have a problem with something. They don't understand the impairments that the autism puts on my brain.
I graduated with honors. I got a lot of scholarships for a bunch of colleges at the time, but by my junior year, cracks began to show. It was about this time, though, that I discovered I had Asperger's. It explained a lot. It explained why, for me, some things were so much easier and some things were so much more difficult than others. Before that point, I had momentum. Now that I was out of college and I didn't really have much, I no longer had those contacts, I basically had to start from square one.
I got a perfect score on the ACT. I was always thinking I only do well in school because I get these accommodations. I was so socially oblivious in some ways that in middle school, apparently people would try to pick on me and, tease me or bully me or whatever, and I didn't even notice. I became much more aware of it in high school when I became more interested in being social with more people. In a way, what might have been best for my social skills was actually getting a job at CVS. I had to learn to make small talk with people, and working retail really does wonders for your ability to make small talk.
Initially, I wanted to go out of state when I was going to college, but Michigan State offered me a scholarship, so I wasn't really wanting to turn that down. And also I visited the campus and just felt very comforting. I looked for part-time work. I think it was mainly difficult during school because it's hard for me to focus on more than one thing at a time. I think the barriers to work is definitely just being comfortable with the job and the people working there. I would prefer working with people who understand to an extent what autism is and what anxiety is, so then the transition is just better.
I would say my greatest achievement was me publishing my books. God specializes in the impossible. He creates miracles every single day. Grace for grace is given in the way. I'm typically a man of few words and I have a reserved personality. But I believe that from what I've written, my career will eventually go far.
My dad suggests the idea, how about if we go to the library and check out some books to see what other professions it would be. And then we found piano technology, and I'm thinking that's what I did a long time ago. And he says it's gonna take a lot of work, but if you're willing to do the work, we'll make a path for you to enter into profession. And then I became an RPT, which stands for Registered Piano Technician. And then the business started slowly getting customers, gradually. And then after a few years, I started to increase more and get more. Most people are not like my dad. Most people would give up on me, or they say, okay, you're getting frustrated, you don't understand, why don't you just go back to just earning a regular wage at a low-paying job? Now that I've gotten experience from my dad, if I had a kid, I would teach my kid, do this, do not quit. My dad taught me this, I want you to keep on going.
Looking was difficult. I was at a part-time retail position, which was completely unsuited for me. It challenged me so much more than things that other people would think are extremely complicated. I've applied to maybe 60, 100 jobs at this point. I've long since lost count. I'm in a period where I'm trying to find something that works with my skill set. I'm trying to work with my autism and my Asperger's, and I'm just trying to rediscover where I was before.
It was frustrating because I didn't manage to get an internship when I was in school, and that made the job search much more difficult. I was working at CVS, and when I was home, spending half my time applying for things that appeared. I graduated in 2019. I kept that job at CVS that entire time up until this year, until I got my current internship. It was mechanical engineer, people with disabilities only. It's meant a lot being able to have a job that I can do that's intellectually engaging, that can develop my technical skills and where I can feel like I'm doing something worthwhile, even if it's just a little part.
I found team members through Autism Alliance. I mainly do time lapses. So I gather all the footage for whatever construction site that they worked at and then edit it together and create the time lapse. I realized that, I'm a creative person, so it definitely means a lot to me to have this opportunity, especially out of college. I think I'm really lucky to have this job. I really appreciate the job that I have, but I'm still looking for additional jobs as well.
I like to say everyone has a fitness for a particular purpose. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, and if you can find someone who can play with those strengths, you're gonna be far more successful than if you're playing to your weaknesses.
For almost every potential downside of a disability, there's something that they're able to do that other people aren't as good at.
God has given me a great gift to be able to write and to convey my feelings in words.
I'm really good at creating ideas and translating that to animation. I like to write mostly poetry or short stories.
I can take a bunch of data that I see. I can make predictions and I can understand things that people don't normally see as a result of that.
I like making systems work. helping ensure that different people with different skills are on the same page when they communicate.
When I tune a person's piano, repair it the right way, and they're happy, that is rewarding. I'm glad to be coming here for that.
I'm thankful to Autism Alliance in Michigan for giving me this opportunity. I've been able to just live a decent life